up, guys? Trilogy here. Welcome to the first episode of Trilogy Talk. Is going to be kind of an experimentation with long form content. I have like a list of topics that have caught my attention throughout the last couple weeks, and I'm just going to basically just speak about them for you guys on my channel. And I might break them. I'll have this long video, and then I might edit and make some of these topics into shorter videos and just post those solo. But yeah, we're just going to be experimenting with some of the topics that I have basically wanted to talk about for you guys, but some of the stuff isn't long enough to make a video. Some of the stuff I just haven't had time to make a video. And I really think I want to start doing this every week as far as kind of like a freestyle podcast type thing. But yeah, the first topic that we're going to have is, well, before we get into that, I'm Trilogy with Trilogy Effect. I do a lot of different topics on my channel. I mean, I'm just looking at my list of topics for today. I have an animated movie, superhero movie. I have an anime. I have a TV show. I have a movie. I have a video game. I mean, I have just some general news. I have some music topics, some shoes topics. I mean, I like a lot of things. There's even a D&D topic on here for Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, hopefully you'll stick with me for this long form content. And if not, if you hear something you like on here, keep an eye out for the individual release that we're going to be dropping for the different topics. But the first thing I want to talk about is Spider-Verse. That movie was some heat, boy. I was on it before everyone else. I'm not gonna cap. I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, but Spider-Verse was some heat. The soundtrack was amazing. The acting was amazing. And overall, I'm still a fan of Peter Parker. I like Peter Parker more than Miles Morales. But it is cool seeing some representation in the media for Miles Morales, who's half Hispanic, half Black. And I feel like the Hispanic part really gets ignored a lot of the time. But I did like how in the movie he did speak Spanish sometimes to his mom. And I thought that was a nice little touch, especially when he's supposed to represent more than Black. He's half Hispanic, half Black. But yeah, the next movie is supposed to be coming out, Across the Multiverse. Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. And I am so excited for this because the first one was really good. We're going to have Shameik Moore, who's really good. I really liked him in The Get Down. Yeah, The Get Down, canceled by Netflix because they don't like Black shows, but tragic. You can watch it. The way the first season ends, you can still watch it and it'll have like an ending, but it's not like it doesn't tie up everything just because it was supposed to have more seasons. But yeah, Shaolin Fantastic is Shameik Moore, and he was really good in that. As far as that goes, we're also going to have Haley Steinfeld, who's returning. If you don't know Haley Steinfeld, she's in a lot of things nowadays. She was in Dickinson on Apple Music, which the first season was really good. She's also in Hawkeye. She plays the other Hawkeye, basically, in the purple suit, which I did watch like the first 2 episodes, and I just didn't really feel it, but maybe I'll check it back out. So she's also going to be in there. As far as that goes, we don't have any other confirmation on any other returning Spider-Man from the first movie. I would like to see Nicolas Cage. I like Nicolas Cage, and he really played Spider-Noir really good, although I'm not the biggest fan of Spider-Noir. We can pass on Spider-Pig. I didn't really like his character at all, although that is his character. So, I mean, it's comic accurate. We can pass on Penny Parker, the one in the automaton, the robot. We can pass on her. Basically, bring back Spider-Gwen and bring back Peter Benjamin Parker, the washed-up Spider-Man. I really want to see if things worked out with him and Mary Jane. I mean, I really liked him. But the Spider-Verse is so vast. There's so many other Spider-Men they can do. So it's like, do I want these guys to come back or do I want new characters? But it looks like they're going to be doing like a mix of that. They're only going to bring back Spider-Gwen, who's confirmed, and then maybe we'll get some new Spider-Man. We're going to be getting Miguel O'Hara, who is Spider-Man in 2099, which is an alternate timeline where Alchemax is taking over and Spider-Man is dead and all kinds of stuff. Lab experiments. You know how we get powers, lab experiments. I wanted to be a scientist so bad so I could get in a lab experiment and get powers, you know. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. I'm going to also play the trailer up in front of us, and so we can watch it, and it's just super cool. So, one second. Meanwhile, in another universe, I'm just watching it, but I'll have it up on the screen for you guys. I'm just gonna be watching it again. So we have Miles starting off in this trailer, and he does look much older than he did before, which is cool because I think at the end of the last movie he did look younger, but at the end of this trailer he looks much older. And look, he has a little comic going on. He's eating ramen. The portal's opening. Gwen's calling his name. That boy got his underwears flying around. Not the tidy whities. Not the tidy whities. How old are you now, Miles? And Gwen just pops in and makes herself comfortable. I do like, it looks like her costume is a little different than it was last time. She has a bracelet on. I think the bracelet's probably for multiverse travel. And then also her shoes are different because before she was wearing like these ballet shoes, and those are just regular Converse. And she has no respect for privacy, by the way. This is a total meme where she goes through his comic books. So that's pretty funny. Looks like he has some Power Rangers in the background. This man said, "I can't go anywhere, I'm grounded," which is relatable. He's grounded. I relate. And she's like, well, can Spider-Man come out? She is gonna get that man so caught up. I always like the Spider-Gwen hood, but like how she's standing on the side of the building, how is that staying on? The hood should be falling off. But yeah, his fade looks better. He has more defined curls on there. It just looks super cool. So that man is flying through the multiverse. I wanted to see if he had like a bracelet on like she did to see, but it doesn't look like they're gonna show that. And in this world he ends up in, I don't know where this at. I'm looking at like the art style and I can't figure out what world this would be in. I don't think it's 2099, but it is cool to see. Oh, Miguel is not playing around. Look how buff that boy Miguel is. But I think I did just see a bracelet come on and he turned it on to change. So it is gonna be cool to see some other worlds. And I really like this logo. It's different than Miles' logo. Yeah, so Spider-Man, and they keep the glitching animation. It's pretty cool. I really like that in the first movie. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Part 1. So that's the trailer, you guys. That's pretty much everything we have on Spider-Verse, but I'd love to talk about it down in the comments. If you guys want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm definitely going to be following this movie. I was a really big fan of the first one. It's probably the best animated Spider-Man ever, and that's better than the Spider-Man in the 1990s, although that had a lot more character development. But overall, towards the end of it, the budget deteriorated and the content was less refined, if that makes sense. Okay, our next topic is probably going to be quicker than that, at least, because I don't have a whole lot to say on it, but I'm really excited for Demon Slayer Season 2. So, I mean, I'm not the biggest Demon Slayer fan. The anime it blew up, man. It was really popular as far as that goes, but overall, I wasn't a big fan until I saw Demon Slayer Mugen Train, the movie. Chef kiss, you know, that movie was amazing. The animation was beautiful, the story was beautiful, and it really just made me want to give the first season another try. Because I watched the first season, I tried to watch the first season 2 times previously, and I just couldn't get into it, you know? It just really wasn't for me, I guess. And everyone was like, just skip to episode 17, skip to episode 17. So where that fight happens between him and the spider guy. And I watched that and I'm like, yeah, I mean, the animation is nice. It's nice animation, but it's like, it's not really clicking for me. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, you know? This movie was really amazing. And I was like, you know what? Forget season 1. I'm just gonna pick up from where this movie leaves off. But I did hear that the anime, I believe, is rehashing the movie, like how Dragon Ball Super redid the Battle of Gods movie, and they broke it into episodes. And then they did the Resurrection F movie, and they broke it into episodes. So I heard that the Demon Slayer anime is gonna be doing that. I didn't look too much into that, but if that's not true, comment down below and let me know, and we can watch it together, and I'll be doing episode reviews on the channel. But in the meantime, I am really excited for that because I really loved that movie. It was probably one of my favorite movies of the year. And that's crazy because I wasn't even a Demon Slayer fan. I just wanted to go see the movie with some friends and we went to see it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was better than the last My Hero movie I saw, World Heroes Mission. Yeah, that thing was mid. The My Hero movies are getting worse and worse as they go. The first one was amazing. It's top tier anime movie. The second one was good. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the first one. And that ending battle was super cool. Super cool. Non-canon though, and then they made Bakugo forget everything. So I'm like, okay, no consequences of that. And then the next movie was not as good at all. I mean, I just didn't like I didn't like the Deku fight, and I didn't. Well, this isn't a review of that movie, but this is a podcast, so we're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna go on a rant. I mean, that movie just was not that good. They split up our main three characters. I would like a fight where all three of them fight a main guy together instead of Deku. I know he's stronger, and with everything happening in the manga, it's like the opportunity for that is closing because Deku's like surpassing everybody right now. So it's just like, it's now or never, you know? The next topic, speaking of skipping the first season and moving on, we're gonna be talking about Love Life, which is basically, it's not a romantic comedy. I guess it's just like a real life romantic thing. It's about a man. Well, in the first season, it's about a woman, a white woman who's searching for love. I watched the first episode of that. It didn't really catch me, so I was like, I'm not really on this. But season 2 had already come out. And the reason I clicked on it is because I saw my man William Jackson Harper, which I've seen him in a lot of things. He was in We Broke Up, which was really good. It had the evil racist girl from The Boys, and I'm sorry, I forget her name. And I'm sorry that that's all I remember her by, but that's just how it is, you know. And they were dating and they broke up basically. And the next thing, he was also in, you know, The Good Place. So yeah, I mean, but as far as that goes, I was clicking on it because the advertisement was like Love Life, and it had him on the top. But he wasn't in the first season, so I'm like, this isn't for me. But somebody I spoke to said, yeah, you can just watch the second season without watching the first season. They really only reference it. So I was just like, you don't say. So I watched the second season, and it was decently good. I mean, the characters were really fleshed out. They did dumb stuff, but you know, it was never a stretch. It was always in character. And moving on to our next topic, we're going to be talking about The Great, which is like a comedy drama type show. It's about Catherine the Great and Peter the Great, and it's an occasionally true story is what they call. So it's basically a historical fiction where they take historical events and they basically add their own plot to it and make it more dramatic, more humorous, and they change certain things to make a better story sometimes. But yeah, it's gonna have Ellie Fanning, who you may recognize as the little girl from Maleficent. She was also the little girl, well, she was older, and she was in Super 8. She was the one that was older than kind of everyone else. And then we're gonna have Nicholas Hoult, he played Beast in the X-Men. And did he play in anything else? I mean, I feel like I've seen him around, but Ellie Fanning, she plays Catherine the Great, and Nicholas Hoult he was the zombie in Warm Bodies. Never watched that movie. It was too much for me. And yeah, of course he also played Tolkien, which was about the J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote the Lord of the Rings movie. He was in Mad Max, Jack the Giant Slayer. So he has a couple movies on here, but mostly he's Beast from the X-Men. But yeah, the first season was really good. It was about Catherine the Great. She gets married off to the Emperor of Russia, and marriage in Russia is not what she expected. She had a fantasy in her head, an idealized version of what her life was going to be. Reality check, Russia is brutal. Her husband is a jerk, and eventually she just decides to have a coup, C-O-U-P, coup. And she overthrows the emperor basically, but there are a lot of costs to that, and it's just a very nice plot as far as that goes. Second season is not as good in my opinion. It's still pretty good, but I mean, some characters just got thrown out of there. The way Catherine is developing as a leader, I'm really just not liking it. I'm not liking it myself at all. If you had to give the first season an opinion, I'd probably give it like, it was pretty good. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. And then the second season, I'd probably drop it down to like a 7 out of 10 if we had to give it a rating. But that's The Great. It's on Hulu if you haven't seen it. I really have not seen too much content as far as The Great goes, but it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Even though my ratings dropped, if they made a season 3, I would definitely at least start it to see if it was still good. But as far as that goes, that's where we're at with The Great. Next up, we're going to be jumping into video games. We're going to be talking about Far Cry 6. I have not played a whole lot of this game, but I finally got my Series X, boy. Finally got it. I mean, I haven't been trying as hard as a lot of people have because even though I mainly game on Xbox, I wanted the PS5 because I wanted the PS5 had more exclusives, and most of the Series X games were going to work on my One X that I had. So I'm like, there's not really any point in upgrading for no reason. So I spent most of the year trying to get in PS5. I finally got my PS5 back in July, and I was like, yeah. But you know, it was expensive. The GameStop did me freaking dirty. I had to get the PS5 with an extra remote, and then I had to get like 3 games, and then I got a gift card, and it was a scam. It was like $850 for a $500 console. And I don't even need extra remotes. I don't even play on the PS5 that much besides the single players like Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Detroit Become Human. Those games are what I love. I love those PlayStation games. And it's just like, I don't need an extra remote. On top of that, the PS4 remotes work with the PS5. And I already have a working PS4 remote. And I have a kind of working PS4 remote. Like, it would work in a crunch. But the thing is, I don't need crunches because I don't multiplayer on it. So now I have 2 PS5 controllers. I have a working PS4 controller, and then I have like a half-working PS4 controller. And you know how many remotes I need? 1. I need 1. So I got scammed out of that. The Xbox bundle wasn't too bad. I got an invite from Microsoft. They were like, hey, thank you, valued customer. You can get an Xbox. We know it's been really hard. And I had heard about those invites, but I was just like, what are the chances that I'm going to get one of those invites? Low, minuscule, but no, I got the invite and I was like, okay, it's lit. I selected my Series X, I was lit, and then they were like, you're gonna have to get a controller. I was like, not a controller. You know how I was complaining about the PS5 remote situation? I have way more Xbox controllers. I have, off the top of my head, I have the blue one, I have a white one, I have my Elite controller, my Elite 2 controller, I have a bunch of them in this bin over there that are half working. So that's just, I don't need more controllers. But they made me get another controller. So now I have 2 new controllers that I don't need because I usually use my Elite controller. So I have a new black remote, and then I have a blue remote. And I hate the blue remote. I just hate the two-tone that Xbox is doing with the remotes. Like, from the front, this remote looks beautiful. And this is what I saw online. I love this blue. I really like the D-pad. I really wasn't a fan on it because my Elite controller has it has an attachment that you could take the attachments off and you can put a D-pad on here that's really similar to this. But I just didn't like it. So I prefer the regular D-pad. But on this, I mean, I really just like how it feels. But what I was saying was about the two-tone. Look at this back. I hate this. Why did they make this white? This makes no sense at all. Like, black. The black looks good. And then they were like, let's just make it white. And a lot of their controllers are like that. There's like a red one that's like that. And I'm like, no, because the old controllers were not like this. And I don't like this two-tone at all. I don't like it. I don't know if they were just trying to be like PlayStation where they add this ugly black on the front. The two-tone, I'm not a fan of two-tone. I like an all one color. Like this controller right here, it's a little boring. But it's all black with like a nice dark silver on the back. I like this, but this two-tone is just not for me. But anyways, the topic was Far Cry 6. So as far as Far Cry 6 goes, I love Far Cry. My favorite one, if you're not gonna hang me up for it, is gonna be Far Cry Primal. I love the caveman agenda. I liked that game. It was really fun. I also liked Far Cry 4. I never finished Far Cry 3, but from what I played, it was really good. And a lot of people will tell you that's the best one. I will tell you that it's probably the best one just because I've heard so many people say it and I've never finished it. So I'm just like, I don't know. My favorite is Primal though. And I started Far Cry 5, but I just couldn't get into it. And I really wanted to play the DLC. And I have the DLC because I bought the season pass and I just never played it. Total waste of money. There was like a DLC where you're in Vietnam, and then there was one where you go to Mars, and that sounded so interesting. And I was just such a big fan of Far Cry. I was like, I'm just gonna get the season pass and pay $60 for a Ubisoft game that's gonna be $20 in 6 months. Total horrible decision. Even worse, so I felt bad because they bundled it in my Xbox and I had to pay $60 for it. And on the store at that moment, it was on there for $40. So I paid full price for this bundled game that was only for $40 in the store. And I was like, what a scam, boy. Big scammed. I got big scammed. And you know what, last time game consoles dropped, I was a gamer, but I wasn't like a big gamer. You know, I gamed, I was just getting into it when the Xboxes came out. And I'm just like, oh man. And even when the One X came out, I was like, $500 or was it $400? I was like, that's too much money for a console. I'm not paying that. So even if I could have gotten a One X, I wasn't paying that money. And look at me, look at how the mighty have fallen. $850 for a PS5 and then $620 for a Series X. Dummy boy, dummy. But Far Cry 6 seems cool. I haven't gotten super far into the game. I like how I have the pet crocodile. That's pretty cool as far as that goes. Sorry, my light turned off for some reason. We've been recording a long time. I've been doing other stuff. So anyways, I like the pet crocodile. The main character seems kind of dull right now, but I mean, I'm sure she'll get some character development. Right now, she's just trying to get off the island. Who is the guy? I always forget his name, but I did hear that he's actually bad. I heard that in an interview he was salty because he always plays like evil Latino guys, and he's not even Latino, is what I heard. Giancarlo, I think his name is. What is his name? What? Google is not helping me. Sorry about that. Giancarlo Esposito. They said maybe this is just like grapevine stuff, like, so that's what I heard, but Esposito sounds pretty Hispanic. He was born in Denmark. He's African American. Oh, so he's not even Hispanic. He's African American through his mother, and he's Italian through his father. That's funny. So he's not even Latino or South American or any of those races down there. And so he said he was, basically this is what I heard from someone else, so don't quote me on it, that he was just like, they always cast me in these roles, but that's not me. I mean, if he was white facing a different role, it'd be different. But yeah, Far Cry 6, if I had to give a tentative review on like what I've played so far, and I might update this down the road, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 from where I'm at. What I didn't expect to be enjoying more than Far Cry 6, which is our next topic, is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Whew, this game is actually pretty decent. I like it. The Guardians of the Galaxy, I wasn't really aware of their presence until the movies came out. And this game has the same cast as the movies. It's almost exactly the same. It doesn't have any of the characters from the second movie, but everyone from the first movie is in this game. Their character designs are a little bit different. I mean, I haven't unlocked all the skins, but I did unlock the movie skin for Groot, so I'm assuming all the other movie skins are available for the other characters. In this game, I knew kind of ahead of time that Peter Quill, who you're playing, is going to be kind of weak, and there's no multiplayer like Marvel's Avengers, and that kind of did put me off from this game, because Marvel's Avengers, that thing was dookie, boy. Dookie. That game was not that good, and yeah, everyone knows about Marvel's Avengers. Dead game, dead game, dead game. Let's not speak ill of the dead. But yeah, this game is much better than Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, sorry, this game is much better than Avengers by a long shot. It's a single player game. I like a nice single player game. And you're basically the leader. So Peter Quill's guns, they feel so weak. But I knew that ahead of time because this is going to be a direct quote from Falcon, I believe, Game Ranks on the Before You Buy, but that's kind of what they want you to feel like. You're the leader. You're supposed to direct your other teammates who are the heavy hitters. Groot restrains, Gamora slices, Drax is the bulky guy, Rocket does explosives, and you are the leader. So you have quick tabs where you can direct other team members to do different abilities, and you have your guns, which overall they do upgrade. Like right now I'm to a point where I've got like a freezing ability where it shoots ice shots instead of regular lasers or whatever. So that's pretty cool. And I really like that because I don't think I've played a game where you're just like the captain like that. Besides in like some turn-based games, I don't think I've played anything like Guardians of the Galaxy where you're a leader directing other people in the midst of combat. But if there are other games like that, you should definitely let me know down below. So far for me, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably like an 8.5 out of 10 from what I've played. It still is early in the game. I'm much farther in this than I am in Far Cry, but I feel like I'm still pretty early in the game as far as that goes. So that's how I feel so far. Next topic that we have is going to be an MCU Spider-Man type thing. Kevin Feige, who is like the president of Marvel or whatever, who cares? He confirmed that Charlie Cox is, if Daredevil does appear in the future MCU, he is going to be played by Charlie Cox, who did play Daredevil for 3 seasons in the MC TV universe or whatever, you know, with the Defenders. It had Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. So that kind of makes me more enthusiastic that he might show up in the movie in some aspect. But I mean, I'm not really looking for Daredevil, you know. I like him in the comics, but I wasn't really a super big fan of his show. The first 2 seasons were really good. The 3rd season lost me. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking for it, but it is cool that if Daredevil does come in, he'll have the same actor and stuff like that. And I really don't really care about the lawyer part of stuff, which is what we'll probably get because, you know, Peter Parker's on trial. I'd rather see him suit up, you know. I like his suit. It's pretty cool. I really wish comic book movies and stuff like that would veer away from the dark colors and go back to the brighter aesthetic. Because like in the show, his suit is like a dark burgundy, but in the comics, that thing is like a blood red, you know, from what I've seen, the comics that I've seen. So that's just what I wanted to say. On top of that, on some other news as far as TV shows go, The Boys, I mentioned it earlier, the Amazon dark superhero, supervillain, anti-hero show, it is getting an animated spinoff called Diabolical, and I think that'll be pretty cool. Amazon's been really doing good with animated stuff darker superhero stuff between The Boys, and then we got Invincible, which was amazing. Invincible, 9 out of 10. Invincible was pretty good. I mean, I'm reading the comics now. That's how good it is, which I guess isn't too far of a stretch for someone who reads manga, and I read comics sometimes, but I haven't read a comic in a long time. Invincible changed that, you know, that's how good it was. But The Boys, I like The Boys. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Season 1 was better. I'd probably give that like an 8 out of 10. Season 2 was not as good. I'd probably give that like a 7 out of 10, in my opinion. That's just me. But I am pretty hyped for the animated show. It's probably gonna be super gory, and I am not a big fan of gore, but we'll have to see. On top of that, with it being animated and with these characters having superpowers, I think something animated gives them more freedom as far as animation goes versus doing a lot of CGI and special effects when it's live action. So that makes me excited about that. The next topic that I watched that I wanted to talk about is Looper. It just came back to Netflix. It was trending, so I just wanted to talk about it. I love anything time travel, and I started Looper twice when I was younger, and I just never finished it. So I sat down and watched Looper, and I really liked Looper. Anything with Bruce Willis is pretty decent. I'm not the biggest Bruce Willis fan, but I liked Looper. As far as that goes, the ending is not optimistic. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, if you didn't know, spoiler alerts, he has to shoot himself to kill himself in the future. And the rules of the time travel are not really explained. It's like, if you change something in the past, does it create a new timeline, or does it erase the previous timeline? With Gordon-Levitt, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, with him killing himself and his future version disappearing, I feel like changes in the past erase the future that you come from. So it just erases everything as far as that goes, instead of creating a new timeline. So there would only be one timeline, which it's not really detriment to the movie. I mean, I just like time stuff, you know, I like time travel and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool. The movie, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I like time travel, but obviously time wasn't super important. And then it's just like, it's like fate versus, what is that? Free will versus fate? What is that discussion? So it's like, we know this little boy is gonna grow up and be like a tyrant. He's gonna be evil. But can we change his behavior in the present and to where he won't be a tyrant in the future? Or is it like, no matter what we do, he's gonna be a tyrant in the future? The way the movie ends, it's like our actions right now are turning him into the tyrant in the future, because we're gonna kill his mom, he's gonna grow up without parents, and he's gonna be lonely, he's gonna become resentful. Boom, we're doing that. He realized that, and he said, well, if I change this, he won't turn into a tyrant, but I have to kill myself to do so. So in this case, I feel like it's more of a we make our own fate type thing, whereas it's going against the predetermination stuff as far as that goes. One thing I really want to talk about next up is some music stuff. That's going to be our next topic, and I know we're all over the place. I'm just jumping back and forth. One thing I've really been listening to is this song called Elevators, and it is pretty good. I found it off of TikTok, and I mean, it's just a vibe. So I'm just going to do a call out for Elevators, and it's not for everyone. For sure, it's a rap song. I'm looking up her name. Her name's Renni Rucci. Sorry, Renni, if you're watching this for whatever reason. I'm sorry, I said your name wrong. But this song is really good. I've really been vibing to it, and I just wish, I mean, it's more for women probably, because it's just like a bad girl vibe, you know what I'm saying? They're just getting money, doing their thing, but I don't know, the beat goes hard and I really been feeling it, so I wanted to talk about that. Next up, I also wanted to talk about Zodiac Sign, which is a Drake leak, and apparently this song leaked like 1-2 years ago, and I'm just like, what? Back in the day, I was on all of the Drake leaks. Like, I had all of those songs. Before he dropped Care Package, all those songs were leaks, and I had all of them on MP3 files. So I'm like, I'm slacking. Zodiac Sign goes hard. It has Jessie, Reyez, and she's always sad about something. She's always sad. I've never sat and listened to any of her music, but she's featured a couple rap songs, and she's always sad. So I guess that's her vibe, sad girl music. But Zodiac Sign is fire, boy. It's a Drake song. But yeah, Zodiac Sign is really good. It's just like a vibey love song, body count type thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. I listened to nothing but on repeat on the day that I discovered it. So it's been out for a while. Next up, I'm gonna talk about a shoe that I'm really trying to cop. I'm really looking forward to this. The cool gray 11s, and I am not a big fan of gray. I think gray shoes are boring. I'm looking at my shoes. I have no gray shoes. And I have had one pair of gray shoes. I had some gray Huaraches, and I really wanted Huaraches, but I didn't want to pay for Huarache prices, and these gray ones were on sale, so I bought them. And guess what I never wore? The gray Huaraches, because I don't like gray shoes. But these cool gray 11s, sheesh. It's something different about them, you know. I don't have no 11s. I really want some 11s for my shoes. I don't really have like a super big collection because I don't like spending super big money on shoes. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the cool grays, and I'm hoping I can cop them. I got my boy Prion working on it. Hopefully he gets a lot of the hookups on them, and he does do it up price, but hopefully he's not gonna scam me. I'm also trying to get it, and I also have a friend trying to get it, and hopefully I get them. And if I get more than one, we just gonna upsell them, you know? Because those things are going for like $800 online for the 2010 versions or whatever. So hey, I probably won't get them, but fingers crossed on the cool grays. These things are just Jordan 11s, but in gray. They're not like OG colorways or anything like that, but it's just something nice about them. They're not the Gamma Blues like I really wanted. That's my dream pair. The Gamma Blues, sheesh, or the cap and gowns, sheesh. But hey, that's the cool grays. There's also another pair of shoes I want to talk about. Look at these shoes here. These are the Nike Corianders. And I think these are so interesting, and I just wanted to talk about this real quick, nerd out for a little bit, because these Nike Air Trainer 1s, these Corianders, they're orange. And you know what that orange reminds me of? It reminds me of Starfire, you know, Starfire from DC Comics, Teen Titans. And you know what color her skin is? Orange, unless you're talking about the Titans live action. It's orange. And you know what Starfire's real name is? Coriander. That's crazy. Who is doing this? Because, I don't know, it could be a major coincidence. And like, who's gonna catch this? They changed the spelling of it, but Coriander, orange. I mean, what are the chances of that? I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the shoe. It has like this weird strap thing going on. I'm not really feeling that, but I just wanted to speak on that because someone out there thinks they're slick and they're not. Coriander is basically, it's the Starfire shoes. They're just not trying to pay for it. Maybe coriander means orange. What does coriander mean? I'm about to Google that because maybe I'm tripping. And if that's the case, oh, coriander is a plant. Coriander is a herb. But it looks like it's it's not really an orangish color though. It's like a tan, so no, I'm onto something. I'm definitely onto something as far as that goes. And then our next topic is going to be the next shoe that I want to talk about. You know, back to shoes. This list is really in any order. And this one's not coming out anytime soon, but it's just on my radar. And I wanted to talk about it while I had you guys here. This is going to be the Polaroid Nike Dunk. And I have not really been on the big Nike Dunk hype train. I got a pair of shoes for a girl. She wanted some. They were so expensive. But these look nice, and if I could get them for retail, I really want these. If you look at them, it has a white sole, black canvas or suede or whatever. The heel, it has a white upper, and then it has, you know, the Polaroid rainbow swooshes on there. And I think that's really cool. For some reason, I just really like rainbow sometimes. And I think it's just the potential of being able to match it with different things. So it has some blue, it has some orange, it has some red, it has some yellow. I can match with that, throw on some black jeans and then just do whatever with the top. And I really think these are cool. They're gonna drop sometime in 2022. We don't have a release date for them yet, but I just wanted to show them off to you guys so you can take a look. Maybe they'll be on your radar, but if you get them and I don't, go ahead and unsubscribe. Next thing I want to talk about is Strixhaven, which is the new D&D book. It's going to be having some really good spells and feats. I haven't got my hands on it yet because I ordered it and then there was an error with it and it was supposed to get here today, but it's not going to get here till the 11th. But if you guys like D&D and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to do a breakdown of that book. As far as what I've been playing on Xbox, like I said, Far Cry 6, we're going to be having Apex Legends, nothing new, but I love Apex. Rocket League, I mess with Rocket League, even though I'm not the best. Don't 1v1 me, I suck. I'm just high gold league over there. Apex, high gold player, you know. DBD, red ranks, buddy. I've been playing Dead by Daylight, Far Cry 6, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's pretty much it. I'm replaying a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. Played it already, but it looks really nice on the Series X, so I replayed that a little bit. That's what I'm playing on that. As far as Switch, I've been playing Brilliant Diamond Pokemon, and that's really much a little bit. I played a little bit of Donkey Kong, whichever one is where the penguins attack and they freeze over the island. I played just a little bit of that. On PC, I haven't been playing anything, but I downloaded Century Age of Ashes, the dragon game, and that game looks really cool. I just haven't got a chance to play it yet. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. The last thing I have for you guys is I just wanted to show off my new jersey, this Raptor jersey. It is the NBA City Edition. I've been wearing this whole video, but I took it off just to show it off. And I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this, but Toronto, and I'm not really a Toronto fan, but I wanted a new jersey because I used to have one in my collection. I had a KD Thunder jersey, and I just don't know where it went. I didn't burn it like everyone else did when KD left, but for some reason it's gone. One of those women probably took it. You let a woman wear something and you just never get it back. Rest in peace. That's why I don't get none of my hoodies out. But yeah, so I just wanted a new jersey, and my mom got me that one when I was 18. And I was looking at these jersey prices like, sheesh, 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 sheesh. Them things expensive, boy. But and of course, you know me, I wanted the newest one. So I wanted the ones that had just come out. And this is the one I had settled on. I looked at the Thunder ones because I live in OKC, and if I had to pick a team, I just like sports overall. You know, I like basketball and I like football, and I can just watch whoever's on as far as basketball goes. But I mean, I'm an OKC, so I might as well get an OKC jersey. And I looked at the jerseys, and those things were ugly, and they were all white. All white, I cannot do all white. I just can't do it. I'm not clean enough for all white, so I couldn't do all white. And as far as my favorite player goes, I've always been a Westbrook fan. Westbrook is on the Lakers now, so I looked at the Lakers jerseys to see what they was looking like, and those things was ugly too. So I was like, man, I'm about to be just another dude with a fashion jersey. They're gonna be like, you a fan of the blah blah blahs? And I'm gonna be like, nope, I just like the jersey. But I mean, I'm not gonna pay all that money for something ugly. So I did narrow it down. I was looking at this Raptors jersey. I was also looking at the Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks jersey. And I was also looking at the Timberwolves jersey. All three of those was looking real nice. I finally narrowed it down to the Hawks or this jersey. I've always been a fan of black and gold, and the Hawks one was a lot of yellow. It was bright, and I was like, I can't match that yellow. So I ended up going with the Raptors one, and it finally came out. It was like $140. Sheesh, you see I still got the tag on it. I'm trying to keep this on here as long as I can, for whatever reason. I don't know. I just feel like it's important to know how much money was spent on it. But I mean, I feel like the quality is lacking. Like, there's certain periods where, like, you see this on here? I feel like when you pay that much money on an item, you shouldn't be having stuff like that. That's just me though. I mean, I haven't bought a jersey in a long time, and this came like this. So like, and there's also this little speck right here, this little white speck. If you pull on that, that's a thread. Why is that on there? I paid all that money for a jersey and you got imperfections like that on it, and that's just annoying to me. But hey, that's all the topics I have for you guys for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Trilogy Talk. My name is Trilogy, and hopefully we're gonna be doing these videos every week now, which is random topics throughout the week. It's like gonna be like a news circuit, you know? So if you wanna see more content like that, go ahead and subscribe. I have other curated playlists on my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.